Hello dear students. So in this chapter we have done with male reproductive system, female reproductive system, spermatogenesis, oogenesis, and also in the last video we have discussed with the menstrual cycle, right? So today in this video we are going to study with the new topic. So once the formation of gametes, that is sperm and ovum, is done, the next process is it has to fuse, right? The process is called as fertilization, right? So before that, a few of your friends, they have asked a few questions or doubts regarding with the last video, that is menstrual cycle, that I'll discuss first. So their question was, what happens to the ovum or egg after it dies? So in menstrual cycle we have discussed that on 14th day there is release of egg takes place. It survives only for 2 days. Okay, it survives for 24 hours or maximum around 48. Okay, 48 hours survive ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Later, if fertilization occurs, what happens? This will go and binds to the implantation, I mean endometrium, right? If there is no fertilization, the egg will die, right? And then it will dissolve there, the fluid will be present, okay? And the dissolved membrane which passes to the endometrium, and as the endometrium layer shed off, okay, during menstrual phase, so this ovum also released out through vagina. Clear? So the second question was, is white discharge is normal during menstrual cycle? Of course, white discharge is normal during menstrual cycle. Why? Because before ovulation or on the time of ovulation, you find there will be white transparent fluid will be released out through vagina, and this process is called as leukorrhea. It is called as leukorrhea. Okay, and this is actually normal process, but it it is indicative of certain vaginal symptom when the color of that discharge changes or the odor, smell. So odor and color, if it is bit different from the normal, then it can be indicative of vaginal disease. Clear? And the normal white discharge, it is due to the peak level of progesterone hormone. Clear? So third question was, why are some periods are painful? Okay, there will be stomach pain during menstrual cycle in favor of the female individual, right? So the reason for this is, so during menstruation the endometrium lining, they get contract, and then will be the blood vessels, they get rid of, right? So during this time there will be hormone like substances, it released out, which is called as prostaglandins. Okay, so this prostaglandins, I'll write here, prostaglandins. So these are hormone like substances which are triggered by, which triggers the uterine contraction to release the endometrium tissue. Okay, and if the concentration of prostaglandins effect is more or high, then it will be more painful. Clear? So this is about the doubts of your friends. So now let us discuss with the fertilization topic. So we all know that there will be haploid gametes, right? So this is haploid and haploid ovum. This is also haploid. So sperm is the end product of spermatogenesis, ovum is the end product of oogenesis. And these two gametes has to fuse to form diploid zygote. Okay. From this diploid zygote, it undergoes mitotic division and all. A human body will be formed. Correct? So, zygote is a single cell, but it is diploid. A single cell in the huge human body aguantadu, it is not a small thing, right? So, it is not a easy thing also. There will be many processes will be taking place inside the body. So what exactly those process, what happens to the gametes after gametogenesis, that will discuss here. Okay, now what happens here is during coitus or copulation, means during crossing over, the semen from the male external genitalia, from the penis, which will enter into the female reproductive tract. So these are the sperms here. Okay, so in one ejaculation there will be 200 to 300 millions of sperm will be released, right? So those sperm, it is not sperm, now it is called as semen. Okay, so why it is not sperm? Because when sperm will be combined with the seminal plasma, then it is called as semen. Okay, so this semen, when it enters into the female reproductive tract, it should travel through vagina. Here it is called as cervix, cervical canal. Then it will passes to the fallopian tube. This is a fallopian tube. So everything we have discussed in female reproductive system, right? We have clear with the parts and all. So this is ovary. This is actually the half portion of female reproductive system. This finger-like projection is called as fimbriae, and this is infundibulum. This is ampulla, and this is isthmus. So these are the three parts of fallopian tube, right? So in ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ sperm ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, from the male external genitalia, it will travel through the female reproductive tract, and then it reaches to the ampulla. Ampulla isthmic junction of the fallopian tube. So ampulla isthmic junction andre it is the junction between ampulla and isthmic part of the fallopian tube. Okay, at the same time, from the ovary, the ovulation should occur. A release of ovum should take place. Okay, so the fertilization means fusion of sperm and ovum, which takes place only when sperm and ovum will be in the ampullary isthmic junction simultaneously. This is very, very important. Okay, so you can say that ampullary isthmic junction, this junction is the site of fertilization. Andre fusion of sperm and ovum will not take place in the vagina, it will not take place in the uterus, it will take place in the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube ಇದು ಯಾವ part ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? It will take place in the ampullary isthmic junction of the fallopian tube. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So this is why all copulation will not lead to fertilization or pregnancy. Andre yeah, I've written here all copulation andre all coitus process will not lead to fertilization. Why? Because all the time ovum will not be there. Why? Because ovum will be released on 14th day plus it survives for 2 days, right? ಸೊ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಬಂದು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್? ಸೊ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ನಂಬರ್. Now the question arises here is, when the sex of a baby determines, baby ಮೇಲ ಫೀಮೇಲ ಅಂತ ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಆರ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, ಆರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಬರ್ತ್, ಆರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ 9 months of pregnancy, during 4 months of pregnancy? When exactly the sex of the baby is determined? So actually the sex of a baby, it is determined during this time only, during fertilization only. ಯಾವಾಗ ಓವಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಬಿ ಯಾವ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ, so this is the symbol of male, right? We all know that male sex chromosomes are XY, they are heterogametic. Female sex chromosomes are homo means same gamete, homogametic. Okay, so during fusion what happens is, there is chances of 50% of the male gamete, okay, 50% of the male gamete, it can fuse with the female gamete. Okay, it can fuse with the female gamete, idu chances irutte. Or the 50% of the male gamete, it can fuse with the female gamete to form XY. Okay, ಈ ಎರಡು ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ಸು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Why female will give only X chromosome? Why? Because it is homogametic. It will give 2 gametes. Why? Because it is heterogametic. Okay, so if X gamete of the male, it will fuses with the X gamete of the female, then the baby will be male or female? Baby will be female. If Y chromosome of the male, if it fuses with the X chromosome of the female, then the baby will become male, because XY is the sex chromosome of male. Artha aita? So this is how the sex determination of a baby occurs during fertilization. So one point here clear is, actually the male chromosome which decides the sex of the baby, right? Female, she has no role in sex determination. Okay, so male chromosome which decides the sex of the baby. Clear with this? Yeah. Next in NCERT they have given some beautiful diagrams over there. Okay, so I have tried to make those diagrams here. I don't know how it came out. Please go through the textbook once. Now if you look at the structure of ovum, okay, this is the structure of ovum, because structure of sperm we have discussed in the last video. ಈ ovum structure ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, it is surrounded by certain membranes, right? So first membrane is called as vitelline membrane. Blue color ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, ಇದನ್ನು vitelline membrane ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And next membrane, can you see here? So this is called as zona pellucida. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? zona pellucida ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And the space between vitelline membrane and zona pellucida is called as pre-vitelline space. Okay, and outside to that, external to the zona pellucida, there are few cells are present, right? So these are called as corona radiata, and these are the cells of corona radiata. Clear? I repeat, ovum is surrounded by vitelline membrane, zona pellucida and corona radiata. The space between these two is called as pre-vitelline space. Now during fertilization, as I mentioned, the sperm, idu sperm alva, so sperm which contacts to the external layer of the ovum, that is called as zona pellucida. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಬಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಝೋನಾ ಪೆಲ್ಲುಸಿಡವನ್ನು ಇಂಟರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ, ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸರ್ಟೆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಝೋನಾ ಪೆಲ್ಲುಸಿಡಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಡಿಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ 200 to 300 millions ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸು ಅಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದು ತುಂಬ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಈ ಝೋನಾ ಪೆಲ್ಲುಸಿಡಾವನ್ನು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟಚಸ್ ದ ಝೋನಾ ಪೆಲ್ಲುಸಿಡಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್, ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್, ಪರ್ಮಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನಲ್ಲಿ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಈ ಸಿಮೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ದಾಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Out of those millions of sperm, only one sperm which is very active, which is very motile, that involves in fertilization. Okay, idishtu clear aita? And when it touches the zona pellucida, ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಕ್ರೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಹೆಡ್, ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಪೀಸ್, ಇದು ಟೇಲ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಆಕ್ರೋಸೋಮ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಆಕ್ರೋಸೋಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮೇಜರ್ ರೋಲ್ ಇನ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸೆಕ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಹೈಡ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್. ಲೈಟಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಲೈಟಿಕ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಆಕ್ರೋಸೋಮ್ which helps in the entry of sperm into the ovum membrane. Okay, which try to penetrates these membrane, ಇದನ್ನು ಪೆನೆಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓವಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ರಿಲೀಸಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಓವಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ the nucleus present in the sperm and nucleus present in the ovum, it fuses. ನಾವು ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಓವಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಓವಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಲೇಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಲೀಸಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವಮ್ in the nucleus of the sperm, they fuses to form diploid zygote. So later it will differentiate to form liver, kidney, okay, eyes, ears, etc. So that we'll discuss later. So this is about fertilization. ಓಕೆ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಟು ಟಿಲ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್, ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನಿಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಟು ಟಿಲ್ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಂಡೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಯಮಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನ್, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಲೇಟರ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್? I repeat, so fertilization is nothing but fusion of sperm and ovum during coitus or copulation. The sperm from the male external genitalia, it will enter into the female reproductive tract and it will reach us to the ampullary isthmic junction. At the same time, the ovary has to release its ovum. The process is called as ovulation. So fertilization only takes place when both the gametes will be present on the ampullary isthmic junction simultaneously. Hence this junction is called as site of fertilization. So this is why we say all copulation does not lead to fertilization and pregnancy. Clear? So when sperm reaches to the ovum, the sperm will interact with the outermost layer of the ovum, that is zona pellucida. Once they touches the zona pellucida, there will be permeability changes in the membrane, which allows additional sperm not to enter into the ovum. Clear? And then what happens here? The acrosome, which consists of an enzyme called as acrosomal enzyme or hydrolytic enzyme, which helps in the lysis or breakdown of the membrane present in the ovum, and it will release its content to the ovum. Clear? So this is about fertilization. Next we'll discuss with the implantation. So in implantation, the fertilization will be formed, right? So this fertilization which leads into zygote. So this zygote which undergoes mitotic division to form a special structure which is called as blastocyst. Okay, so from zygote it develops into blastocyst, and this blastocyst later they embedded in the or attached to the endometrium. So this blastocyst ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ endometrium layer, that is innermost layer of the uterine ಗೆ attach ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and later the uterine cells which is present in the endometrium which covers the blastocyst. Okay, so this is exactly what happens in implantation in general. Okay, so the zygote which undergoes mitotic division as it moves through isthmus. Isthmus means this region of oviduct or fallopian tube is called as cleavage. This is important. Okay, so cleavage means the zygote when it undergoes mitotic division as it moves to the isthmus region of the fallopian tube or oviduct, which is called as cleavage. So one point is clear, that the formed zygote will be moving in this direction. Okay, why? Because uterine is here or endometrium is here. Okay, so during cleavage it results in or it forms into 2 cell, 4, 8, 16 cell structure. For example, initially from the zygote it will form into 2-celled structure like this. Okay, then it develops into 1, 2, 3, 4-celled structure, and then further divides to form 8, then 16. Okay, so it go on. Why? Because if you consider this is a cell which undergoes mitosis, and it gives into equal cells, and the chromosome number will be same. Why? Because it is mitosis. Again, this cell which undergoes mitosis to form 4 cells, right? Again, these cells which undergoes mitosis to form 8 cells. Okay, so this is how the cell division continues. So where we were? Yeah, so the resulted daughter cells, what the cells formed here, they are called as blastomeres. Artha aita? So I repeat, cleavage results in 2-cell structure, then it divides to form 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, so on. The formed daughter cells here, the formed cells are called as blastomeres. Okay, so the embryo with 8 to 16 blastomeres, ಈಗ embryo ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ embryo if it is having 8 to 16 blastomeres, then that structure is called as morula. How to pronounce? Morula ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so morula again which undergoes a division to form blastocyst. So this blastocyst is having more than 16 blastomeres. Okay, so such structure is called as blastocyst. So in NCERT, this diagram they have given, and also you can see other diagrams which is given in your textbook. So this is the fallopian tube, here is the ovary, this is the fimbriae, infundibulum, ampulla isthmic junction, and this is the isthmus part. Okay, so this in this junction, ampullary isthmic junction, there will be fertilization, it forms into zygote. Zygote will travel through the fallopian tube to reach what? Uterus. So while traveling there will be cleavage, 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell division will be taking place there, and the embryo with the 8 to 16 blastomeres, which is called as morula, and morula which further divides to form blastocyst. Okay, so here is the structure of morula, here is the structure of blastocyst. If you see the structure of blastocyst, cyst means actually the cover. Okay, it covers the blastomeres. So you are clear with the difference between blastomere and blastocyst. Blastomere is nothing but the cells present inside, or the daughter cells are called as blastomeres. Okay, so blastocyst is nothing but when these blastomeres, which is get surrounded by a layer, that is a final structure before implantation, that is called as blastocyst. So if you look at the structure of blastocyst, it has got outer boundary with this blue color one, which is called as trophoblast. Outer boundary is called as trophoblast. Okay, and the inner cell mass, can you see mass of cells which is aggregated in one side of the trophoblast, the red color one, which is called as inner cell mass, or this is called as inner cell mass. Okay, so this is what the structure of blastocyst is. Here what happens is the trophoblast layer, that is outer boundary of the blastocyst, they get attached to the or implant to the endometrium layer, and the inner cell mass or cluster of cells present inside the trophoblast, they get differentiated into embryo. ಅದು embryo ಆಗಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So later this whole blastocyst, it covers with the uterine cells present in the endometrium. So from this process, the pregnancy period starts. Once implantation is done, then only we can say that she is pregnant or she is positive for pregnancy ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Clear with this? So this is about implantation. So implantation ಗೆ ಏನು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಓಮ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಟಿಲ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ ಎಂಡೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಯಮ್. ಸೊ ಮಿಡಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊರ್ಯುಲಾ, ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟೋಸಿಸ್, ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಐ ರಿಪೀಟ್. ಸೊ zygote which undergoes mitotic division as it moves through the isthmus of the oviduct or fallopian tube, which is called as cleavage. Cleavage results in different cell structure, that is 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 daughter cell structure, and the daughter cells are called as blastomeres. Embryo with the 8 to 16 daughter cells or blastomere is called as morula, and morula divides to form blastocyst. This is the structure of blastocyst. It has got outer layer which is called as trophoblast, inner layer, inner mass of cell is called as inner cell mass. Okay, so trophoblast, they attached or embedded in the endometrium, and inner cell mass they differentiate into embryo. So hope you understood this video. Thank you.